Alrighty then. This is Lucifer here, business and spiritual consultant, as always. And if you're wondering what is Lucifer doing on Earth, well, let me tell you. He's talking about everything the Earth is made of, which is what business and spirituality, also known as King the Conqueror, also known as the High Evolutionary, also known as Thanos, and many other names. Um. Okay. Now there is definitely something going on right now where spiritualists might not feel or notice this, but I'm involved in spiritual. I am a. I am. How do you say? I'm an investment manager in the spiritual stock market, right? I notice fluctuations. I analyze fluctuations in the spiritual stock market, and it would seem like there is a tendency going on right now. There's a trend going on right now where I feel like the spiritual sector is being attacked. Now, the spiritual sector has always been attacked. It's always been a sector that has many issues and problems. But right now, there's a specific attack. It's like every time that the spiritual sector makes progress, it seems like they pull out a red carpet of bullshittery in order for people not to be interested in spirituality or perceive spirituality as something negative, right? Now, dare I say, I include myself in this. I might be a demonologist and not a run of the mill spiritualist, but mysticism, everything that has something to do with the metaphysical realm is spirituality, right? So I'll consider myself a spiritualist too. The thing is, so I notice things, right? And it seems like there is a rollout of ridicule and disinformation being thrown towards the spiritual sector. Maybe not a person in particular, maybe not a person in maybe not a person in target, but it would seem like we're being attacked. And it's always the ones that are closest to the truth that are under the barrel 90% of the time. Dare I say, I just saw a video of somebody talking about TEAL SWAN. TEAL SWAN is a cult a cult following whatever cult leader being accused or seen as a cult leader. Not that there's anything wrong with that, but there's obviously the video was obviously made in a non-flattering fashion, right? So I don't direct people towards Teal Swan myself per se, but I have enough confidence in myself in order to say that TEAL SWAN is one of the top out there, right? In the spiritual sector, right? TEAL SWAN, what's her name again? Abraham Hicks, Eckhart Tolle, Sahat Guru. These people are people that I think like, but of course there is a unbeknownst competition between us, between all of us. There's competition with everyone. There's competition with your family. There's competition with your friends. There's competition with strangers. There's competition in your workspace. There's competition with other businesses. There's competition with other countries. There's competition everywhere. As the king of hell, I am faced with competition on a consistent basis. A lot of people want my title, right? Or try to get my title. So I feel like it's important for people to not take these things lightly, and I feel like it is our fault that people do take these things lightly, because you can't. How can you tell somebody, well, you can't really spirituality is like art, right? You can't really tell someone that this is the only way to do it. Even if that's the only way to do it, you can't really tell a person that that's the only way to do it. You have to figure it out yourself, right? But you need guidance in order to figure things out. You can't completely figure out everything by yourself. That's impossible, right? I wouldn't know all of the things that I know if other people hadn't written down their knowledge. That's the only reason why I know what I know today, right? It's because of the knowledge that was already instilled here, right? So, and then I proceeded to develop my own opinion based on the information that was given to me. So it's important to have guidance in what you're doing in your process, and not everybody is ready to do that. Not everybody is ready to actually discipline themselves into a spiritual practice. Most of the people that do right now, well, if I would be bold and brash, I would say spirituality can help mental health issues, but at the same time, it's causing mental health issues. I mean, it's not the teacher that's causing the mental health issue per se, but it's like the world of demonology, right? The world of Satan, the infernal realms. These realms are abstract. They are abstract place. It's an abstract place to live in. There are many facets. There's many facets and there's many facets and a multitude of things to study, for the lack of better terms. So someone that doesn't have the right guidance can get lost trying to get into those things. But at the same time, the cure is the poison. In the case of spirituality, the cure is the poison, but that's an oversimplification. It's all that to say, because I know, I listen when people speak, and I listen when the consciousness speak, and what's going on right now, especially on YouTube. On YouTube, the people that listen to spiritualists on YouTube are mostly people that believe that they can achieve, or that they have achieved, their max potential without a martial art. And what I mean by martial art, I mean Satanism. Satanism, I mean Luciferianism, demonology, Wicca, white magic, black magic, voodoo, whatever. A lot of people are neophytes of these different martial arts, but they choose, it seems like, especially in young people, and I'm trying to say this without being insulting, but our generation, well, not our generation are pretty level-headed, but the next generation has a tendency to wrap themselves in the idea of being a spiritual entity without actually practicing being a spiritual entity, or wanting to practice being a spiritual entity. And this, and when you are a spiritual entity yourself, and you you are initiated, you have done the jobs, you have climbed Jacob's ladder, you are initiated in a multitude of things, and you have gone through a multitude of things, and you studied a multitude of things, so you know how to do things, and you are only trying to help the person in their process of ascension. But the people that we deal with today don't feel like ascending. They're okay with the notions, and it's mostly because of Christianity and the false idol of Jesus and the false God of the Christian Bible that people act that way. They're marginalized. A lot of people are marginalized, and so they do not put themselves in specific boxes. Yes, I committed a crime, and I said putting yourself in a box. And it's important to put yourself in a box, because that cup, that holy grail, that cup is not a holy grail, but some people will call it a holy grail, right? Because I want you to understand that the cup that I always speak of is the same cup that's in the tarot card. That cup is a representation of you. It's very important. It's a spiritual aspect. Everyone has a cup, right? If everybody is a temple, in every temple there is a cup, right? If you go into Asgard, there's gonna be a room with a cup in it, right? If you allegedly, if you go to heaven, allegedly, the Holy Grail, there's a cup. There's always a cup in most mythological or romanticize fictional stories of the metaphysics, there's always a cup, right? So the cup is a very important spiritual aspect. And when you're not aware of how important the cup is, your psyche is going to be all over the place, because you're implementing small doses of various different things. It's okay to add taste to your mixture, right? To your potion. It's okay to add taste to it, which would mean a small dose of this, a small dose of that. But the main potion has to be something. There has to be a main potion. There has to be a purposeful, focused, implementation of something that makes you, right? This is the reason why people join secular groups, right? Because they are filling their cup with whatever that they are in, right? So right now we have a very, very marginalized version of spirituality, which contains zero discipline, zero advancement, zero progress, zero achievements, and that's absurd and impossible at the same time, even though that's the case. But I think what people don't understand is not that I feel like people underestimate what spirituality is, because it feels like people think that spirituality is just, isn't as powerful as some of us make it seem to be, even though it is. And if you do practice, you are very aware of how powerful spirituality is. Magic or spirituality, whatever you want to call it, right? You are aware that it's powerful. You are aware that it's grandiose. So when you look at people as a person that considers himself as the same cloth as high spiritual teachers, it's disturbing to look at how people are treating their form of spirituality. It's very disturbing and worrisome. It's disturbing and worrisome, and I feel like it's very disturbing. It's very disturbing because a lot of people they feel like they feel it. But that's only whatever you're feeling right now. That's only the beginning. It gets a lot worse than that. It's a lot worse than that. And at the same time, I understand some people that are scared, but there's nothing to be afraid of. If you're afraid of something in spirituality, it's yourself. Because whatever happens, it's at the end of the day, it's because of you. And even if it's bad, and that's the thing about spirituality, even when something bad happens, it's not necessarily bad. You really have to take a moment and think and have enough wisdom and logic and discernment to really take notice if this situation was really bad, or was this a learning experience, and did I get something out of it? Was it really that bad? And it's not, I'm not saying it's easy to see. I'm not saying it's easy to see, but sometimes when you're going through a spiritual process and something bad happens, sometimes those bad things are not really bad things. They are messages. And sometimes it's not even a bad thing. It's like, I can't go to places that are cheap. I don't know if that's okay for me to say. I think it is. I think it is. I can't go to places that are cheap. That's my fault. I did that because I asked something to the universe, and now the universe is siphoning me into the thing that I want. And because of that, when I go to cheap places, I have a bad experience. But as bad as the experience is, it's my fault that it's bad. And the worse it is, the closer I am to the things that I want. So if you wake up in the morning, and you do affirmations, right? You do affirmations, and your affirmation is millionaire lifestyle affirmations. You want to be a millionaire, right? So you do affirmations. So in those cases, at some point, you won't be able to go to cheap places. You will literally be chased out of those places. Why? Because the millionaire mirror, the millionaire essence is not an essence of cheap things. And not only that, being a millionaire is actually a good thing. It's not a bad thing. Being a millionaire, it's not. I know it sounds crazy to say for some people, not for me. To me, it's not crazy, but for a lot of people, especially younger people, that's a crazy thing to say. But it's not, because money, currencies is a representation of you, right? So your goodness, your goodwill, your not goodness, your worthiness, not goodness, because you don't have to risk your life to be a millionaire. Like, just your worthiness, right? It's about you. It's not about like all the good things that you do. It's about how worthy you are. And how do you become worthy? By being yourself. That's how you become worthy. The more you are yourself, that's how you pick up Thor's hammer. That's the trick of Thor's hammer. Thor is himself, completely and wholly and unapologetically. That makes him worthy. He is worthy of that hammer. He doesn't keep guilt in him. He's not guilty. He doesn't feel guilty for being who he is. He doesn't feel guilty that his hair is long and it's nice, and or he has a big belly, like some North, he doesn't care. He has nice features. He has features that makes him look like what he looks like. He's aware, because he's a god, that other people don't have those features, but he doesn't keep those ideas, those thoughts in his mind, because those ideas and thought are not his. Those are somebody else's insecurities. This is why he's worthy. So that's the same thing. Being a millionaire is like lifting Thor's hammer, right? Being a real millionaire is like lifting Thor's hammer. Like being a millionaire through an ethical, clean, and ethical way is like lifting Thor's hammer. And it is possible to become a millionaire without fucking somebody over or causing damage or anything of that matter. It's a myth that you have to do evil in order to be a millionaire. That's a myth. It's not true. It is very easy to become a millionaire without having to hurt anyone or do anything wrong. It's very easy. Very easy. You would be fucking surprised. And those millionaires, those people that are like that, they don't walk around town. Why? Because people, for the same reason why you cannot step into cheap places once you ask that to the universe. Because some people are spiritually millionaires, and then some people are spiritually poor. And as wrong as it sounds for me to say, you're going to meet people with poor spirits when you go to places where there's cheap things. People aim for cheap things because they are not worthy. They are unworthy. They make themselves unworthy. And the worst part is, it takes the same amount. And the worst part is, it takes the same amount of effort to make yourself unworthy than it does to make yourself worthy. It takes the same amount of effort to make yourself unworthy than to make yourself worthy. The same amount of effort. It took time for you to become unworthy. You actually worked hard on being unworthy. And the thing is, and this is not a diss, I'm not trying to be rude or mean on purpose. It is harsh to say, but I'm not saying it to be harsh or to be like an annoying or a jerk or something like that. But you have to understand, because I understand that some people live in different circumstances, which makes them continue on that path of unworthiness. So when something bad happens to you, there's two kinds of people in the world. There's the kind of people that would be like, something bad happened to me, that's what I deserve. I deserve bad things to happen to me, whatever. Or I'm not gonna try to do anything because, you know, if I do something, the same shit is gonna happen, and blah 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 blah, and so on. And so you're working at being unworthy, because when you're worthy, when you're full of yourself, when you are wholeness, when you are one or zero, it depends, right? You tend to you don't have those ideas, you don't have those feelings, right? You don't have those feelings, so you're not going to keep on seeing things that way. You're going to walk the other path. So these are the two different kinds of people. There's the one that is going to work at being unworthy, and the one that's going to keep working at being worthy, right? So there's people, I work hard at being unworthy. Unholy. I work hard at being unholy, right? So, and most people work hard at being holy. But you have to understand, I know what the word holy means. Most people don't know what that word means. They have no idea. No clue. 90% of people have no idea what the word holy means. 90% of people. I guarantee you. Guarantee you. I work hard at being unholy. Because that's not for me. That's not my kind of thing. That's not the holy that people have created, that society has created, that civilization, that Western European Western civilization has created is not for me. That's a curse. That's death. It's the most evil to me. That's the most evil of evil. There's no, even I can't be that evil. That's so evil. That's like a level above evil. It's a level above evil, man. Even I can't be that. Even if I tried, I couldn't be that evil. So what does this have to do with spiritualism? Well, the thing is, the only reason why the disinformation, the ridicule, the targeting, the slandering, the casting of stones functions is because of the notion of worthiness. People do not digest the information, not because the information is incorrect, because they feel that they don't deserve to be this way. So instead of, and it's harmful to us more than to them. Well, it's very harmful to them, but at the end of the day, you have to care about yourself and you can't care about the whole entire universe. You have to care about yourself. So, whatever a complete stranger that you have never seen or, heard of doesn't really affect you. It might piss you off, but it doesn't affect you, right? So it's detrimental and it's hurtful to us because, we're trying to give the information. We're trying to bring you to that level, right? And this unworthiness is dangerous because then the people attack you once they reflect and come to the conclusion that they'll never achieve that level. Then you become the bad guy. You become the target. It's not them that can't do it. It's not them that don't want to learn. It's not them that doesn't want to practice. It's not them. It's you that's bad. You're the bad guy because they can't keep up. Or they don't want to keep up. Or they were keeping up, but then they figured out at some point that it was like, okay, fuck it. I'll never be like that, so I'm not even gonna try. And you're not gonna, and a regular person or normie, a normal person is not gonna walk around town saying, "Oh yeah, I can't keep up. Fuck it, I can't keep up. Fuck it." No one's gonna do that. No. Instead, they're gonna be like, oh, that guy's a jerk, or that woman's this, or that guy's that, and that girl's this, and that. And then the rumors start. The rumors start, and the rumors create a snowball effect until it becomes slander, until it becomes attacks, until it becomes targeted. Because it takes a lot of balls. That takes confidence to admit that you can't do something. It takes a lot of confidence in yourself to like, you know, a random person. It's like, oh, why don't you keep up with the thing? Fuck it, I can't do it. Like, that takes a lot of balls to actually say that. Because most people are not going to say that. Most people are going to find 3,000 fucking reasons why they didn't keep going, instead of literally just saying it was just too complicated, I didn't get it, fuck it. Some people would say that, but not everybody. Not everybody. Most people wouldn't. Most people wouldn't. So it's I don't care. Me, quite frankly, I don't really give a shit. I already got mine. But, you know, that doesn't mean, just because I don't care, that doesn't make it right. And what I'm talking about here is this obstination of not following a cohesive spiritual practice. I'm hearing people talk about creating their own systems and shit like that. I mean, it's fun to do on the weekend, you know, but you're never gonna defeat Kali. Your little thought form is not gonna defeat a 10,000, 20,000 year old God. An entity that you created last week is not gonna defeat a 20,000 year old God, bro. That doesn't make any freaking sense. That don't make no damn sense. And this is not, I'm not dissing nobody. It's fun. I do it too. Shit, I had a whole fucking, but not even. But I do it too. But I do it too. I do it too. But you know, and it's not a diss. It's just, you know, be real. Let's be real for a second. Like, you're not gonna take a clone demon and fight and think that you're gonna win, or you're not gonna take a clone demon and think that you're gonna have as much fruits coming from the vine than using an elder god, an elder demon, a prince of hell, a lord of hell, an ascended master. This just doesn't make any sense. I mean, it's fun to do. It does work. I do it too. Everybody does it. It's fun. I ain't gonna lie. It's cool. I'm not gonna lie, but it's not It's uncomparable to the real thing. It's not even fucking close. So, like, I'm not saying to never do that. That's not what I'm saying. But have a concrete foundation. That's what I'm saying. I'm saying to have a concrete foundation. There's a bunch of tarot readers. They're sitting there and they're just fucking hooting and hollering the name of God like there's no fucking tomorrow, dude. You're a fucking tarot reader. What the fuck are you talking about, man? like what in the fuck are you talking about? They're sitting there and, oh, God lets me read the card, blah blah blah. What the fuck are you saying? What the fuck are you saying? That makes no sense. That makes no sense. It's occult. The tarot cards is a dark occult practice. There are no good spirits involved with tarot reading. They're mischievous, devious spirits. And I'm not saying they're bad, but they are bad. And I'm not saying they're bad as, you know, they do bad stuff and they're gonna kill you. No, they're bad spirits. They're nymphs, fairies, horror movie fairies. Not, you know, little girl fairies, like adult fairies. They will play tricks on you if they feel like it. You know, they'll lie if they feel like it. They will withhold information if they feel like it. Of course, there's a reason. But they're very fucking human. They lie, they cheat, they steal. You know? They're mischievous. They play tricks. And you're sitting there talking about God has nothing to do with this. That's probably why your reading sucks. Because you keep evoking the wrong things. Tarot reading is hard. Anybody can do it, but it's hard. It's hard. I don't like reading. I'm good at it when I do it for someone else. I'm not good at it when I do it for myself. I'm good at it. If somebody asks me a question, you'll get the answer. And that's how mischievous they are. Because if you sit there and ask a question for yourself, they're not going to tell you shit. I mean, sometimes, you know. But it's hard. Reading yourself is hard. Reading others is fucking easy. And like I said, it's not that they're bad per se. It's not like they're evil and shit like that. But they're bad. They're mischievous. They're like, you know, it's like you're a badass little kid. You know, the little the badass little neighbor kid, right? Always looking at you with a fucking, you know, with a frown on his face and shit, you know. This mean mugging. Those are spirits. That's the spirit world. That's how spirits are. This is not Christian. This is non-Christian. People died creating tarot cards. People were being thrown into fire for reading tarot cards. Men and women murdered, accused of devilry whatever that means. And that's okay. There's nothing wrong with that. It should stay where it is. There's nothing wrong with that. It should stay where it is. If you consider this to be from the devil, well, motherfucker, yes, it is. And it shall remain so for eternity. And there's nothing you can do about it. You can't steal from the devil. Don't steal from the devil, man. It's a bad idea, bro. It's a bad idea. It's not a good idea. And Christianity doesn't have any motherfucking mystical practices, and that's just how it is. We didn't make it like that. They did. It's not our fault. That was his decision. Not mine. I didn't make the rules. I just work here. I just play here. I'm just a player. I don't. You know what I mean? For real. That was their decision. They decided to remove any, and they don't have any. There's zero mystical practices in Christianity. Zero. Nothing. There is nothing. And that right there is a fucking red flag. That should have been your first red flag. I know that was my first red flag, I ain't gonna lie. Well, one of my many red flags. Actually, no, it wasn't the first red flag. But that's a major red flag. The Devas, they have mantras, mandalas, mantras, chants. They're not devils. Well, allegedly they're not devils. Allegedly they're not devils. Allegedly they're not demons. They have chants. They have mantras. They do little mandala drawings and stuff that's supposed to like explode your third eye into nirvana. Demonology, well, shit, I can't. You're gonna have to take a chair, because it's gonna be a long fucking night if I tell you how many fucking things there's in there, because it's infinite. Thor has his chants, his rituals. Thor. Norse mythology has its rituals and traditions. And when you invoke them, they actually appear. It works. Christianity is the only religion that is devolving instead of evolving. It's the only religion that makes people regress instead of progress. The only one. The only one that gives its people absolute zero power. Because all the other traditions on earth, all the other cultures on earth gives strength. Gives power. Gives knowledge. Christianity is the only one that acts like magic doesn't exist. Christianity is the only religion that is scared of speaking of higher things. The Bhagavad Gita talks about a lot of things. It's insane. And all of it makes sense. Even the Greeks, Greek mythology was the father of psychology. You want to understand psychology, all you have to do is read Greek mythology and you're going to be the best goddamn psychiatrist in the whole fucking universe. Religion, Christianity gives you nothing. It gives you nothing. And the world is dying because of it. Because while there's 2 or 3 people like me evolving, becoming more than human, enthroned into godhood, ascending into mastership, whatever, becoming millionaires, everybody else is like going down the drain. And we have to sit there and watch as if that's what we want to do. As if that's what we like. We have to sit there and watch. Some bullshit. Bullshit. Sorry, I got a little bit heated there. My bad. But it is bullshit. It is. Because there's nobody that's ascending into, it's like you can't, that's stupid. That's just stupid. Like nobody's like, people don't think like that. Nobody thinks like that, man. Like you find gold. You find gold somewhere, the first thing you want to do, I mean, you're not going to do that. But if you're in a perfect world, the first thing you would do is tell everybody fucking else that you found gold. You would bring the whole goddamn town to the fucking place where you found gold. But society is working backwards now. Society is not happy when they find gold. They're unhappy when they find gold. They're happier when they don't find gold. 2 + 2 is 5. That's the society of today. 1984. George Orwell, 1984. The movie was better than the book. That doesn't happen often. 2 + 2 is 5 nowadays, bro. Nowadays, if I find gold, I'm pissed off. I fucking hate gold. What? What? Shit, I'm guilty of it too, man. Like, my higher self, I spoke to my higher self one day because I was feeling kind of low. I was feeling kind of low and I was feeling kind of confused. And I was wondering, like, and I asked him, like, What's my fucking problem, man? Like, am I fucked up? Am I a fucked up person? You know, of course I am. But I was really like I was asking, like, was I to the core? You know, my higher self told me the only fucking difference between you and me is I like gold and I like silver. I'm a silver kind of person. I'm a moon kind of person. I like the moon. I like silver. I'm a knight of silver moon lance. So, you know, like, that's why my higher self told me. He said the only difference between you and me is I like gold, and he's right. He's right. I do. I like silver. I like silver more than gold. He's right. I felt bad about it though. I felt bad. Because I'm sitting here, I want to be my higher self. But it's almost as if there's parts of my higher self that I don't like. Or something like that. Like, what if I get to the point where I am like my higher self, but then I walk into a fucking jewelry store and I can buy the biggest, hugest fucking Cuban link gold chain ever in the universe of Cuban links, and I get disgusted by it. And because of my disgust, I completely detach from my higher self. That can happen. That does happen. Happens all the time. It's probably happening to somebody right now as I'm speaking. There's somebody having that crisis of consciousness exactly at this moment as I am saying it. Because it happens a lot. At least every 5 minutes. Globally speaking. So anyways, man, I'm a little bit too heated, so I'm gonna stop the video right here. But seriously, I feel like, I mean, people need to find a discipline. People need to find a discipline. And I don't mean discipline as doing 5 push-ups every day. I mean a discipline, a something to learn. A spiritual practice to learn and employ and apply on a daily basis. Something to study. A spirituality to study. Not just walk around telling each other, I'm God this, I'm God. I got, shut up. Shut your ass up. Sorry. Pardon my language. No pun intended, no offense meant. I'm not targeting anybody. But there's a lot of people that walk around and like, you know, I'm God, or, you know, whatever, or fucking God has my back, and just shut up. You're just lazy. You're being a lazy ass motherfucker. It has nothing to do with God. You're just lazy. It has nothing to do with God. You're lazy. Stop it with that God shit. You're lazy. I wish there was any, man, shit. Christians are lucky, man. Christians are lucky, bro. I'm gonna tell you why Christians are lucky. Because Christians got thousands of books that they can read. Thousands. Satanism ain't got one book that they can't read, bro. Not one. All the books on Satanism are made up. They're pure fiction. Pure fiction. They're all made up. There's not one legit Luciferian book, nothing. Give me a second here. There's not one. There's not one. It doesn't exist. All that shit's made up. I mean, of course, you can trust that certain sorcerers made some rituals and they felt an experience, and you can defer your experience with other experiences. That is true. But mostly they're made up. We don't have a Jesus. We don't have a Jesus. We don't have nothing. There's no Jesuses. There's no crazy nonsense. There's no books. Some of the things Satan shows us, we can't even fucking talk about. So, like, the book you're reading is a book of things. It's not the book of all the things. It's the book of the things that Lucifer, Satan, whichever you want to call him, that Lucifer decided it was okay to let that guy write on that particular day. That's how Lucifer works. It doesn't give us the whole plan. It gives us little portions of the plan. Now, I'm not saying it's impossible to not know what the plan is, but that's how he does things. That's just how it does things. Like me, if I write a book, I don't have the whole fucking picture. And even if I had the whole fucking picture, there's the whole picture is not going to be in the book. Because there's some things I can't say. And that's okay. There's some things that should be kept, there's some practices that should be kept because, it might make you go crazy and shit like that. There's some information that people are not ready to learn. You have to go through. I mean, there's levels to the shit too, obviously. But you get what I'm saying. You know what I'm saying. You get the point. Christians have 50 versions of the Bible, 3 different iteration of the same, 5 iteration of the same fucking. There's Mormons, Muslims, Islam, Christianity, Catholicism. It's all the same fucking shit, talking about the same fucking shit, but in a different fashion. Demonology, you ain't got none of that shit, bro. You gotta do your ritual. You have to grab your balls with 2 hands. You have to grab your balls with 2 hands, bro, and hope that you don't explode. Basically, that's what demonology is. Demonology is like that's what it is. You have to grab your balls and hope nothing bad happens. Because at the end of the day, you don't know what the fuck you're doing. Because ain't nobody fucking tell you what to do. There's no church. There's no adorations. There's none of that shit. None of it. So you gotta man up. If you really want to know the truth, you gotta man up. You gotta grab your balls. Stand on your own 2 feet. You know what I mean? Get your baby covers if you're scared. And fucking do the fucking thing and hope nothing bad happens. That's the only thing you can do. If you want to know the truth. And that's how it should be. Because everything has a price. And the truth is, if something is that powerful, it's not going to be that easy to get either. And yes, it's pissing me off because now you got a bunch of people walking around. They're like, oh, you know, God this and blah 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 blah. Get downloads and blah blah. Shut up. It's bullshit, man. Bullshit. I mean, like, there's people. I've seen YouTube videos of people fucking talking about meditation doesn't do shit. You want to know why meditation doesn't do shit? Because all you're doing is breathing. You're just breathing. That's not meditation. That's a breathing technique. That's what you do before meditating. That's why your meditation is not working. Because you're not meditating. You have to use mantras in order to have a transcendental experiment. You have to use words of power or sound. And that's another thing, because some people are deaf. But just because you're deaf, that doesn't mean that you can't achieve. Now don't underestimate, don't think you're better than somebody that's deaf. I'd be more afraid of a person that's deaf than a person that can speak. Because of crystalline energy. A good way to build up crystalline energy is by shutting the fuck up for a couple days. And you want to know what else? In most cultures, they do ask you to shut the fuck up for a couple days before doing a fucking ritual. It's like that when you're going to open your mouth, the accumulation of energy, which is complicated matter to explain, and I'm not going to do it here. That's for initiated people. And if you're initiated and you don't know, and too bad, you better ask somebody, because I can't fucking say that shit on YouTube. But the accumulation of energy from your crystalline energy is so fucking potent. Once you're going to do your fucking ritual, it's going to be like, bow. There's a lot of ways to harness energy into what you're doing. You have to practice mantras. So sound is good too. As long as the person can make a sound too, like the Om. Just because you're deaf, that doesn't mean you can't do the Om. You're mute. Just because you're mute, you can still do the Om. And you don't even have to do an Om. Just making some vibrational noise is good enough. It'll put you into a trance. And you can still read the words and speak it into your mind. So it's not that big of a deal. But you do have an advantage when you can speak. Instead of talking shit all day and saying stupid stuff, you can use your crystalline energy in order to manifest reality into your life. In order to manifest good things into your life. But of course, people will take the snippets. They'll take droplets of knowledge like that without the rest of everything that comes with it. And then not only that, but the people that knows everything that comes with it, they get blasted into oblivion by these marginal people, and they don't even know what they're saying, but yet they'll use the same fucking techniques that we damn near invented at this fucking point, because it's only by our graciousness that we're not saying that we invented the freaking thing, because we don't want to be disrespectful, because spirituality is for everyone, not just for one person. But we don't want to be too bold. We don't want to ruffle any feathers. So we just act like we didn't invent shit, which is almost bullshit at this fucking point. We might as well fucking have fucking invented it. Because the thing is, like, some of the knowledge, like some of the thing I speak of come from trillions of years ago. I don't say that I invent stuff. I don't say nothing. I just give the fucking knowledge that I don't say nothing. But I invent stuff, man. I invented a lot of things. I invented a lot of things. Just the crystalline energy, that's me. Ain't nobody was fucking talking about crystalline energy before I was talking about crystalline energy. I made a whole 1 hour video about it. A whole 1 hour, almost 2 hour tutorial. I think it was free. It was free on YouTube, but I removed it anyway. And not a lot of people watched it, but it's on Rumble. It's on Rumble. Had a couple views. It wasn't that bad. I had like over 30 views in a couple hours, so it wasn't that bad. But it stayed at 30. But that's me. I do a lot of things. I just don't say that it's me, which is bad. Well, it's not that bad, but there's some things that it's okay for you to say that it's you. I mean, like when we're talking about spirituality, it's so far off the deep end. It's like, you know, even people that are supposed to be spiritual I mean, it's too much for them. So imagine us. Imagine magic practitioner, how we feel. You're God, right? You're God. No pun intended, no offense, man. I'm not talking to you, Selena. even though the I don't know, the Christ, the thing that I found weird was the Christ thing. I was like, what? Sorry. So dudes are like, you know, yeah, they got the power of God, and especially targeted individuals, right? Like targeted individuals, oh yeah, God's gonna protect us, and I got the power of God, blah 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 blah. You know, like like, dude, like, you find it like, okay, so I'm not saying that you ain't got no power. That's not what I'm saying. That's not what I'm saying. I believe you when you tell me you got powers. I just don't believe that the powers you have come from the place you say it does. That's what I don't believe. That's the part I have a problem with. So these guys, and when you tell them that this thing is coming from yourself, like, if you explain to a person that those things comes from within them, they don't adhere to that. And the reason why they keep mentioning God when you talk about those things is because they're scared of themselves. They're scared of those. They're scared of the devil. They're scared of Satan. They're scared of Satan. They're scared. They're shook. Their bones rattle. Their bones rattle. They're shook. You're shook, son. So Imagine if you, even though you know that you the one doing the things that happens, it scares you. That's what we do on a consistent basis. That's our jobs. That's what we do all day. You're scared of it when it happens once in a while. You know what I mean, bro? You scared of it when it happens once in a while. This is what we do all day. That's why we don't walk around town saying we invented shit. And we didn't. We didn't invent shit. We didn't invent shit. We didn't. It's not an invention if it already existed. It's a rediscovery. You know, you can put it that way. Kind of. So imagine how we feel, man. It's fucked up to us too. You know, like it's fucked up to us too, bro. We're used to it. But it's fucked up to us too, bro. We're still amazed when we manifest shit and the shit actually happens. I'm amazed when I manifest things. I'm still amazed, bro. I manifested. There's sometimes I have no reaction, but I'm gonna have a reaction. Like when it happens, I try to stay cool. But you, dude, like sometimes I sit there and I'm like. Like I did that, bro. Like, and I'm thinking about something like 3 weeks ago, like 3 months ago, and I'm like, yo, that just happened. It didn't just happen. It happened 3 months ago. But it's like, dude, that was a manifestation. Shit. I was talking about doing that fucking Flash video that I never fucking did, which I'm never gonna fucking do. But that whole week when I was doing those tutorials, when I had my website up and I was doing those tutorials and I was repeating flash. Bro, I walk out with my ex. No pun intended, no offense, man. We walk outside. I'm with my ex. It is night. There is no traffic on the boulevard. We see a fucking huge ass fucking truck that's never parked there usually, with a big old Hermes written on the side of the fucking thing. I was amazed when I saw it. When I saw it, I was like, what? You know? I was like, look, it's Hermes. So no, it does shake us too. We're not completely fucking, you know, blasé. We're not blasé about it, you know. But it's like, so when you're having these marginalized people, you know, walking around with their marginalized spirituality, with their marginalized way of thinking, it rubs me the wrong way. It rubs me the wrong way, and those same people are gonna fucking attack us and feel a certain kind of way about us, you know, because they're the ones that can't keep up. And that, my friend, is bullshit. You know? Pardon me for saying. But that's BS. It's BS. And it's not even that they can't keep up. They just don't want to learn, period. Because they know. You want to know why? These marginalized spiritual people don't want to learn because they know it comes from Satan. Because they know all that fucking power comes from Satan. That's why they don't want to fucking learn nothing. Because they're scared that if they learn how to change the weather and how to fucking do this and do that, God is going to come and be like, well, you're going to go to hell because you got power. Go to hell now. I don't want you to have power, so go to hell. What? What kind of fuckboy shit is that? Anyways, I'm out of here. Pardon me for insulting y'all. Pardon me for being offensive. I might have meant to be, but I didn't meant to be at the same time. I'm just talking my truth here. And I do not like seeing people that think like I do getting thrown under the bus by a bunch of fucking marginal ingrates that don't never want to read a fucking book, that never read the Bible, and they keep fucking talking about hooting and hollering God like they go to fucking church every motherfucking Sunday. This is nonsense. You have the chance to have actual knowledge. You have the chance to become something more and to have actual knowledge. Instead, you're too lazy to even listen to what the person is saying. And the worst part is, this is why people believe in God, because they don't have to do shit. That's why people love God so fucking much. Because they don't have to do a thing. Because if you go on the other side, well, you're going to have to work on yourself. You're going to have to understand your mind. You're going to have to mend relationships. You're going to have to build bridges. You're going to have to talk to people, maybe. Not necessarily, but sometimes maybe. It could happen that you have to talk to someone once in a while. You're going to have to think about things. You're going to have to, well, you might not be, because the thing is, not everybody has to read. But like, let's say I don't know everything about my human psyche. So guess what? Because of that, I'm going to have to read a book. But somebody that does understand everything about the human psyche, he doesn't have to read a book. He'll understand everything right away. It depends. But that doesn't matter. Just the fact that there might be a notion that they have to say mantras, learn a new language, think before acting. Holy cow, is that a big deal? I'd rather go and bow down, break both of my kneecaps for 1 hour straight, because dang it, if you will, there is no chance in hell that you will ever see me work on myself. Ever. And I'll be damned. This is America. It's a free country, and I don't have to work on myself if I don't want to. That's how it is. That's why people love God so much. That's why everybody's up in here running around like a bunch of chickens with no head on and fucking hooting and hollering God like there's no fucking tomorrow. Because they scared. They scared. They know what's going on. They scared, and they don't want to face the music. They don't want to face the music. Y'all don't want to face the music. Y'all know what's going on. Y'all know what's going on. Y'all just don't want to admit it to yourselves. Living in denial. This is what's happening. Living in denial. God told you don't have to do shit. You ain't got to make money. You ain't got to do nothing. You ain't even got to talk to somebody. As a matter of fact, don't talk to nobody. Don't get married. Don't get married. Don't get kids. Don't do nothing. Just do nothing. But shit, man, dog, you hear this dude? This is a cool ass dude. I don't have to do nothing. I ain't gotta do nothing, man. It's a cool ass dude, man. I ain't gotta do nothing. You heard that, man? I ain't gotta do nothing. That's some cool ass shit right there. Word. That's crazy. Well, anyway, like I said, I don't know why I care so damn much. Because that only makes me more powerful. The less people that understand what I'm saying, the better. So I don't know what the fuck my problem is in the first fucking place. Like, so, but hey, man, I mean, like, I don't know, bro. Well, shit, first of all, y'all throwing people under the bus here. So, I mean, that's bad. So I guess that's a reason why I'm saying shit, I guess, if I have to find a reason. If I have to find a sensical reason, because I don't know what's my problem. If I become an ascended master and everybody else dies, what's the problem with that? What's the problem with that? There's no problem with that. Everybody dead. Everybody dead and I'm the only one alive. That's great. That's great. That's great news. I don't see what my problem is. I must be losing my damn mind. Anyways, I'll see you guys later. Have a good one. Peace out.